Bangladesh really embodies absolute poverty. To imagine that a child sick with cancer is treated there is absolutely horrifying.
Only once you're there, you get an idea of what's possible and what isn't.
And luckily, there is a connection between the Cox and me, so we can get together and we are working together.
See the light. Even in Bangladesh, this is the easiest way to diagnose retinoblastoma, yes or no.
Naeem.
Since last week, little Naeem has blood in his pupil. His mother is worried. Dr. Soma is alarmed and quickly understands that the family should have worried a lot sooner.
They already give me the typical history that the baby has the white pupillary reflex for the last 1 year, and which was visible at the night and day whole time. And it is this not white reflex, it is like cat's eye reflex, which is the typical written in the book.
There is a burst tumor in Naeem's eye, which is why there is blood in the pupil. Retinoblastoma, a life-threatening danger.
Yeah, I got it.
The previous day, Monika and Gregor König, the founders of the German Children's Eye Cancer Foundation, Cox, are on their way to the Chittagong Eye Infirmary. It's the only eye clinic far and wide and privately run. Here, children with a retinoblastoma can at least be treated provisionally. Dr. Soma Roy cares for these children. In 2016, she was able to complete a special retinoblastoma training in India, thanks to contributions from Cox and the ICO. She learned how to diagnose and treat the deadly disease.
Soma is just an angel, doing her job with conviction and commitment.
She is a true expert, but also a very humane, wonderful woman. She cared for a case of cancer in her own family. Her brother died, and she knows exactly what it means for a family to lose someone to cancer.
This is an agonizing moment for Dr. Soma. She has to tell the family that Naeem's eye needs to be removed as soon as possible, before the cancer spreads to the brain. The mother is horrified, desperate, and overwhelmed. A retinoblastoma diagnosis is a shock. It changes lives. And in the worst case, it is a death sentence.
It is a long process. Any cancer treatment is a long process. So first time they may be able to pay for everything. But if they need chemotherapy or other things, it will be a burden for them. So they were also asking me what will be the cost. And I just answered them, if you need the surgery, the hospital will help you as much as possible. If you need the chemotherapy, we have a friend, Cox, they will help you.
Help starts with the small things. A suitcase full of equipment that Gregor König knows will help Dr. Soma.
Of course, it doesn't just take well-educated, dedicated doctors. They need special equipment.
Equipment like a mobile fundus camera. It is mounted on a regular smartphone and is used for the early detection of retinoblastoma and other eye diseases. Especially in the rural areas of Bangladesh, such devices and more knowledge could save the eyesight and the lives of tens of thousands of children. That's the vision.
Then you need a nationwide campaign to bring attention to these early symptoms, to the white pupil, and then we'll find these children and save them.
In Bangladesh, eye diseases are often detected far too late. Children go blind. Many die. To change this, Cox visits a preschool in Chittagong.
It's all about early detection. This determines whether the children have a chance of survival.
Gregor König has an ambitious idea. With the help of donations, he wants to establish an eye screening program in Bangladesh, in cooperation with all of the country's preschools. It is a good day for the fight against retinoblastoma. The proposal is welcomed.
We saw such a willingness and enthusiasm from the teachers to help us with the project. They immediately said, yes, it's a great idea. We can do the screening here, or should we bring the kids somewhere? And if we do, shouldn't we inform the other schools in the area? The teachers all know each other. The idea will spread.
So wächst das plötzlich und dann kommt eine Erkenntnis zum Vorschein und die ist eigentlich, dass alles am Ende doch an
In the end, it's clear that it comes down to the people, and if you find some who are ready to become involved and show enthusiasm, it all falls into place automatically.
heranzugehen, dann ergeben sich die Sachen fast von selber.
In order to prepare the project, Monika and Gregor König are almost constantly on the road, not only in Chittagong. They go far into the countryside, to the only doctor's office within 100 kilometers. This, too, would be a perfect place for regular eye screenings, and the mobile fundus camera would be the perfect tool, especially for general practitioners who have little experience with the early detection of retinoblastoma.
They don't have to know what it is. They only have to understand it's dangerous and a specialist is needed.
No doubt, my face is...
The network is growing, daily, almost hourly. So on and on they go. The next appointment is an orphanage in Chittagong. The screening idea needs supporters. Cox finds them here as well. On to a meeting with Professor Rabiul Hussain, one of the world's leading ophthalmologists. He founded the Eye Infirmary as a private clinic. And then, the visit to the Municipal Children's Clinic in Chittagong. Every bed is occupied by at least 3 patients. Some seriously ill are lying on the ground. The smell, the heat, the suffering, it's unbearable. This is the healthcare system in one of the world's poorest countries.
When you see this, you think, where do you start? But if you can save just one child's life, it's already a lot. Even if you can see that the misery can be, and is, a lot greater.
The evening program is a stark contrast. A meeting with Chittagong's Rotary Club. The network is expanding. At the end of the meeting, the journey seems to have been worthwhile. And not just because of this plate. The Rotarians agree to generously support the planned awareness and screening program. By now, even Ellie, the Cox mascot, has arrived in Bangladesh. And then, on the 4th day of their travels, and in honor of the visit of Cox, Dr. Soma and Professor Hussain organized a retinoblastoma symposium. The interest is overwhelming. There is much to say and learn about this disease. For most of the speakers here, the retinoblastoma is first and foremost a medical phenomenon. Not so for the German guests. For them, it's a matter of the heart.
No, we didn't choose this disease. The disease came to us. 12 years ago, we had some pictures in our photo albums where our little daughter of less than 1 year had a white spot in her eye.
Gregor and Monika König know the disease firsthand. Their daughter survived because she was lucky. In Germany, only few children die of the disease. It's a different story in Bangladesh.
Photo album was there for 4 months.
That's why Cox involvement here is so important. That's why it's high time to implement a screening program. That's why donations can save lives.
1% saved children may be a small percentage for the population, but for the family and the children themselves, it equals 100%.
And so, onwards. The last stop of the journey is the best. Although the living conditions in this slum on the outskirts of Chittagong could suggest otherwise. This is the home of one of the children who was saved by Cox's contributions. Little Sakibul was operated on 5 months ago. And of course, putting in the glass eye still takes getting used to, and isn't one of his favorite things. But he's past the worst part, including chemotherapy. His family could never have afforded to pay $50 per session on their own. What saved them was a sponsorship of Cox. Since then, happiness has returned. Sakibul's father earns €30 a month. Chemotherapy costs €700.
We thought, there must be money for this in Germany. People that want to spend €700 to save a child's life. And that's what happened. Many people were so enthused by the project that they donated €700, which went directly to the chemotherapy sponsorship program in Bangladesh.
When you see a little fellow like this one here, you see the idea that became a reality. And there are so many ideas. But to see a child that otherwise would have just died, it's so simple. It would be dead without chemotherapy. And that's what makes it so fantastic.
Happy ending? Far from it. It goes on, together with Dr. Soma and all the others in Bangladesh, we'll have a future common mission together. See the light.
A week ago, I wouldn't have said so. But I believe it's not unrealistic that the children in this developing country receive a greater chance of survival.
Eine ganz erheblich vergrößerte Chance zum Überleben kriegen.